Hi dear students, this is the seventh part of fourth module of ME 206 fluid machinery. In this session we will be discussing about the air vessel fitted to the reciprocating pump. The main shortcomings of an ordinary reciprocating pump are: the first one is the discharge is not uniform, particularly in the single acting pump. The discharge is intermittent. As I have already explained, during the entire crank revolution, only during the half the revolution we will have the discharge, during the other half the revolution we will have the suction only. So the discharge, it is clear that the discharge is intermittent, at least in the case of the single acting pump. And the second shortcoming is the pump cannot be made to run at very high speed. There is a fear of suppression to occur at the commencement of suction stroke or near the close of the delivery stroke. This thing also we have seen in the last presentation, and we have calculated, or we have done the problems to find out the maximum speed of the pump. So if the pressure head inside the cylinder due to acceleration and due to friction, that value is within very much, then the pressure inside the cylinder is becoming lower and lower. Therefore the possibility of suppression is increasing. So we cannot run the pump at a very high speed. There is of course a limitation for the reciprocating pump speed, but the discharge is directly depending on the speed of the pump. Even though we want to discharge more quantity of water, it is not at all possible due to the fear of the suppression. So by fitting air vessel, the main advantage is we can somehow reduce this acceleration head and as well as the frictional head. That means we can increase the speed of the pump without the suppression. That is the main advantage. So thus the discharging capacity of the pump is very much limited. And the third one is considerable amount of work is done in overcoming the frictional resistance in the suction and delivery pipe. That also we have seen. Luckily, the pressure head, variation of the pressure head inside the cylinder due to the acceleration of the piston, it won't contribute to the work done, since the area of the indicator diagram remains constant. There is no need to do the extra work to overcome this pressure head inside the cylinder due to acceleration of the piston. But in the case of frictional, we have seen that the area of the indicator diagram is increasing. That means we have to do extra work to overcome that frictional also. So that is a drawback of the reciprocating pump. So by fitting air vessel, all these three or shortcomings can be eliminated. So sometimes the questions will be short answer questions will be like this: why we are fitting the air vessel to the reciprocating pump? In that case you have to give all these 3 points as the answer. Now moving on to the topic. To rectify the above shortcomings, air vessels are fitted to the suction and delivery pipe close to the cylinder. This is the figure showing the reciprocating pump fitted with air vessel. You can see this is one air vessel fitted at the suction side, and this one is the air vessel fitted at the delivery side. You can see from the figure both the air vessels are fitted very close to the cylinder. This is the cylinder of the reciprocating pump. Both the air vessels are fitted very close to the cylinder. Actually, air vessel is a cast iron cylinder having a very small opening at the bottom portion. See here also, at both the bottom portion we are having a small opening through which the water can enter, or whatever liquid is pumped can enter into the chamber. At the top portion of the chamber we will have some air trapped at the top portion. Some air is trapped in top portion of the cylinder. So as the water level in the cylinder, air vessel increases, in the chamber increases, that will compress the air trapped in the upper portion. So once the pressure in the delivery pipe is more, means the water will be entering into the air vessel, and that will be compressing the air inside it. Once the pressure falls, so what happens is this compressed air will push back the water into the pipe. That is what is happening. During the high pressure, the water inside the chamber will compress the air trapped here. During the low pressure, the compressed air using its pressure, it will pull back the water to the pipe. So that is what is happening. I think it is clear for you. Now air vessel is an inverted cast iron chamber with the opening at its lower end through which the water can flow. As the water level in the air vessel rises, the air trapped in the upper region gets compressed, and this compressed air will force out the water when the pressure of the water falls. We know acceleration pressure depends on the length of the accelerated column of the water. By fitting air vessel to the suction and delivery pipe close to the cylinder, the length of accelerated column of water is reduced. In the remaining part of the suction and delivery pipe, the flow velocity will be uniform. That means by fitting air vessel, what happens is In the earlier case, if the piston is having an acceleration, the entire flow of the water inside the suction pipe will be having the same acceleration effect. That means if the piston is having acceleration, means the velocity of the piston is to be increased gradually from starting to the middle of the stroke. At that time, the flow velocity inside this pipe also will be having has to increase from whatever velocity increase is there for the piston. So, but by fitting the air vessel, the flow of water below this portion, that is this entire region of the suction pipe, the flow velocity will not change. The change in velocity will be only up to the small portion, that is from the air vessel to the cylinder, this much small portion, that is you can see here it is marked as LS dash. For this small length only, the variation of velocity will be there based on the velocity change of the piston, but the remaining portion here we will have the uniform velocity. Now during the delivery stroke, during the first half we have the acceleration. At that time also the water flowing through the entire delivery pipe will have that same increased velocity, but by fitting air vessel, that increased velocity will be there only up to this portion. The remaining the remaining part of the delivery pipe, that is this LD part, we have the uniform velocity. So by fitting air vessel, the lower portion of the air vessel in the suction side and the upper portion of the pipe in the delivery side, we have the uniform velocity. Velocity variation will be only between these two lengths, that is LS dash plus LD dash. This small length we will have the variation of the velocity. So if we are able to reduce the velocity variation to a small length, we know that the acceleration head is directly depending on HA is equal to LS by D. It is directly depending on that value length of the suction pipe. So actually now here the entire length is not having that velocity variation. So instead of LS, we will be substituting the small value LS dash. If LS dash value is very small, that means the acceleration head can be eliminated. Similarly, in the delivery side, while calculating the HAD, we have LD by G, A by AD. So LD by G, that LD term is there. Now that LD term reduced to LD dash, because the variation of flow velocity is only in this region. That means that HAD also is eliminated. So indirectly by fitting air vessel, we can completely eliminate the acceleration head due to the pressure head inside the cylinder due to the acceleration of the piston, that we can completely reduce. That is what is explained here. We know that the acceleration pressure depends on the length of the accelerated column of the water. By fitting air vessel to the suction and delivery pipes close to the cylinder, the length of the accelerated column of water is reduced. In the remaining part of suction and delivery pipe, flow velocity will be uniform. So HAD and HS completely eliminated by fitting the air vessel. We will show it in the derivation, don't worry. Now by thinking about the frictional effect, since the flow velocity becomes uniform in the delivery pipe as well as the suction pipe, we are calculating the head loss due to friction by the flow velocity in the cylinder. Actually the flow velocity has dependency on the theta crank angle, but by fitting air vessel, the flow velocity becomes uniform. That means we will be calculating the HF value with the uniform velocity, that will be always less than the HF calculated by the varying velocity. So that also we will see in the upcoming topics. So anyway, by fitting air vessel, the work done can be reduced, and HAD, HS can be completely eliminated. That is the two advantages. Now talking about the working, during the first half of the suction stroke, piston will have an acceleration, that I have already told. So usually the entire water in the suction pipe will have the acceleration. Acceleration means velocity is increasing. It should increase gradually, that is acceleration. Acceleration means change in velocity should be there. If the positive acceleration means velocity increases. But if the air vessel is fitted at the suction side, then the excess water required to accelerate the water will be provided from the air vessel. Now we know that if the during the initial stroke, that is theta equals 0, piston is at the left extreme position. From here the piston is moving backward till the theta equal 90 degree position, that is middle of the stroke, the piston should have the acceleration. So if the piston is having acceleration, means the fluid water inside this cylinder also should have the same acceleration. Piston is having increased velocity, here the flow also should be having increased velocity, but we want to keep the velocity at the lower portion. At this suction pipe, we want to maintain the uniform velocity. It should not increase based on the velocity increase of the piston. So what we will do is assume that initially the air inside this chamber is compressed, so that excess water required to accelerate the piston. Since if the velocity is increased, means what is happening, Q is equal to area into discharge equal to area into velocity. So if the velocity increases means more discharge is required into the cylinder, so that excess water required into the cylinder is provided from this air vessel. So that means up to here, below this air vessel, suction pipe will have the uniform velocity, but from this point to cylinder side we will have the more discharge. Here discharge is less. From here we are providing some quantity of water, so this plus the quantity of water coming from the air vessel is entering into the cylinder. So that excess quantity provided from the air vessel will provide the extra velocity to the piston. So even though the piston is having the velocity, more velocity, that won't affect the water flowing through the suction pipe. By that way we can maintain the velocity inside the suction pipe. Now during the next half the revolution, what happens is piston should have the retardation or deceleration. At the end piston has to stop, so it should have the deceleration at the second half of the revolution. So at that time, think about what happens is, since initially if air vessel was not there, what happens is, since the piston has deceleration means velocity is gradually decreasing, so the flow velocity in the pipe is also decreasing. So here we will have the lesser velocity, but assume that here the flow velocity is uniform, same velocity as we have the earlier case. So excess quantity of water should be there. If the flow velocity is uniform, that excess quantity of water is stored inside the air vessel during the next half the revolution. That water stored is utilizing for the first half of the acceleration. So that is what is happening. So I will explain once more. During the first half of the suction, piston will have the acceleration. At that time, actually the water inside the suction pipe flowing through the suction pipe should have more velocity of flow, but we are maintaining that uniform velocity of flow by what we'll do is, excess water provided into the cylinder is provided from the air vessel, so that we can maintain the flow velocity in the suction pipe uniform. During the next half revolution, the piston will be having the retardation. So that means the flow velocity inside the suction pipe is going to be less, but at that time also we are maintaining the flow velocity constant. That flow velocity uniform means it will be greater than the velocity based on the piston. So excess water is stored into the air vessel. That is what is happening. So next half of the revolution, that is during the delivery side, during the first half we will have the piston will have acceleration. That means the water inside the cylinder also will be having acceleration. So the water will be pushed through the delivery pipe with a higher velocity, supposed to push with a higher velocity, but we want to maintain the velocity here constant, so extra water should not pass through the delivery pipe. So what we will do is, during that time the extra water is stored in the air vessel. Now during the next half revolution, the piston will have retardation. At that time the water flowing through this pipe will be less. At that time the stored water in the air vessel is supplied in the delivery pipe to maintain the flow here constant. So always the velocity of flow in the delivery pipe and the suction pipe will be same. Here the concept is entirely different. You think about it. In the suction side, what happens is, during the first half of the revolution, when the piston is having acceleration, actually water is taken from the air vessel, whereas in the case of the delivery side, when the piston is having acceleration, water is stored in the air vessel. And in the suction side, when the piston is having the retardation, that is second half of the revolution, the water is stored in the air vessel in the suction side, whereas in the delivery side, if the piston is having retardation, what happens is extra water is provided from the air vessel. So the water flow from the air vessel into the suction pipe and delivery pipe is just opposite, or whatever happening inside the air vessel in the suction side is just opposite to that of the flow of the water in the air vessel in the delivery side. Clearly think about it. I think the idea will be clear for you. In the next presentation we will see the derivation and all.